Hi everyone, welcome to Tom's Manshed. Now today's review is going to be on this, a rotary shaver I got a couple of months ago from Lidl's. But before I do that review, and I'm going to put a timeline underneath here so you can skip this bit if you like and go straight to the unboxing and the review of this. But before I get into that, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everybody who left really nice messages and condolences about my last video, which I've now removed, on the passing of my wife. Any of me regular viewers will have probably seen that and saw that suddenly 5 weeks ago, totally out of the blue, my wife died. We sort of kissed each other goodnight at midnight, and I got up for a wee at 3 in the morning, and I found her on the bathroom floor. Obviously rung 999. They talked me through CPR, but she'd already gone. So, like I say, it's totally unexpected. We'd been together 43 years, and as you can appreciate, something like that happening, it knocked me for 6, and I was like a wreck for a couple of weeks. My two daughters, both in their 30s, have been absolute rocks, and they've been around every day to see me. And like I say, it's just to say thank you to everybody. You were more like friends and subscribers who left them really nice messages. So thanks for that. Getting back into it now, and I'm starting going out to the pub quizzes that we used to go to, and things are getting back to normal. So enough of that. I'm sure you don't want to hear any more about that. Let's get straight into the review of this. Okay, so this is the box it comes in. It was $19.99 from Lidl's. Got it a couple of months ago. I've been using it regularly since then. I'll give you my conclusions at the end whether I would advise you to get one or not. But just on the box here, it's fold-out trimmer, follows contours, operating time approximately 60 minutes on a charge. Battery or mains operated. If the battery runs out, you can run it direct off the mains power adapter. IPX6, protected against powerful water jets, so you can wash it under a running tap. One annoying thing I found on these shavers, because before I go into that, I'll tell you the reason I got this rotary one. I've always had rotary shavers. I always found them a closer shave than a foil shaver. And a couple of years ago, for a birthday or Christmas or something, my wife bought me this Braun foil shaver. Now, it is a lot nicer to feel, to hold. It's a lot better quality than, I feel anyway, than this. I mean, even if you listen to the motors, this is the Braun. Plenty of power. This is the Silvercrest. It just seems weak to me. It seems to be like turning at a much lower RPM or whatever than this. But the problem with this was there was no flip out trimmer. Now that's quite important to me to have, like, as you can see on the Silvercrest one there is one. There isn't on this Braun, and it's useful for trimming your sideburns and your, particularly for me, my big bushy eyebrows. But there wasn't one on this, so I stopped sort of using that really. And I bought this one. I used to have this Remington one, but again, the cord broke under here. And as I was going to say, the annoying thing about these shavers is this one, a cheaper one I got off Amazon to replace this, and the new Silvercrest one, all use a different shaped input from the wall charger. Whether it's a 2-pin straight main socket and the step-down transformer to charge it is in the shaver, or whether it's a separate wall wart with a low voltage output, they all tend to use a different thing. And if the cable breaks, like this end of the cable breaks, like it did on the Remington, that's why I stopped using the Remington, and I couldn't find anything with that socket input. I could have rigged something up, I could have got my Dremel out, I could have altered this and done something, but I thought it was a few years old at the time, so I'd get another one, and like I said, I replaced it with this one, cheap one from Amazon, which lasted about a year. That had a different socket. Then I sort of started using this, and then I've just bought this Silvercrest. But like I said, I all use different proprietary plugs in the end. And this one is 5 volts. So there's absolutely no need to use a specialised shaped plug like this. They could have easily used a USB, USB-A, USB-C, whatever, being only 5 volts, and we've all got loads of phone chargers lying around, well, I have anyway, and loads of spare USB leads, USB-C, all sorts. And then there's no worry about breaking a proprietary plug. You could just plug it in USB. So another one of the cons of this little Silvercrest shaver. So I'll just show you here on Amazon, sort of the prices and what you can expect to pay for similar sort of things. So this make here, Chalant, again, just a no-name clone at the same factory, just a cheapo thing. That's got, what, 5, 6 heads or whatever. That's the make of the one I've just shown you, the second one, cheapo one I got from Amazon. Lasted just over a year, then totally packed up. No idea what's wrong with it, but it just won't come on, won't charge or anything. And that was this Chalant. Again, very weak motor, a bit like the Silvercrest. And I suspect they're made in the same factory. As we get dearer, again, there's still no-name ones here. Chemi, Sweet, they're all basically the same. The one that my wife bought me, the Braun, much, much dearer. Like I said, better quality, but £55. And when you start getting into Philips ones, you can see here the, we're up to like £90 or so. But the reason I stopped using this was there is no pop-up trimmer on it. Now I really miss that. All the 3 other rotary ones have got this pop-up trimmer, which is really handy for your sideburns and so on. This hasn't got one. And also, this doesn't give you as close a shave as a rotary head, in my opinion. Now, I've not tried many foil ones. I think this is only the second foil one I've had, and I've had in the last 40 years or so loads and loads and loads of rotary head ones, and they always seem to cut closer. This is nice and comfy to cut with on longer hairs. As you can see, I've got about a 1 sort of day's growth now, 1.5 days growth. I'm going to give it a couple more days before I ever shave, and then I can show you the difference, and I'll undergo pain just to show you. But with this one, there's no pain at all on longer growth. It cuts through them okay, and it gets down to quite a close shave, but it leaves behind the odd wispy sort of hair. Again, I'll show you that in close-up. I'll get some close-ups of under my chin and that when I do that. These cut a lot closer in the end, but if you try them on a 3-day growth or whatever, you can feel them ripping the hairs out. It's not very comfy. Now, I suspect it's because the motor is very weak, or the different design in the cutting heads, and I'm going to show you that very, very shortly. The cheap ones, this one of Amazon, this one of Lidl's, both use exactly the same sort of blade, cutting tip to the rotary blades. This Remington one uses a different sort. Now, I'm not sure whether it's that, whether it's got a more powerful motor, or whether it's the design of the actual cutting blades, but you will see the difference in the two. And the Remington one, I can't remember it tugging as much. But like I said, definitely on a longer growth, 2 or 3 day growth, I find this one easier, but it doesn't go as close. So what I've been doing is cutting with this if I go 2 or 3 days to get rid of the bulk, and then just finishing off with this one over. But I'll show you them in action very, very shortly. So like I say, I'll give it another 2 or 3 days before filming the rest of this video, and I'll show you on a longer growth how it can sort of hurt. But first of all, I will show you the difference. I've just taken some close-ups of the difference of them cutting blades. So let's have a look at them now. Okay, so this is a Silvercrest one, and this is how we take the head off of this one. You just basically put your finger under here and just pull it off, and on this the entire head comes off. As you'll see on the others, they're on a hinge, and as you can see on this, it's got like a triangular drive shaft on it, which go in them triangular bits there. Now this is sort of like, compared to the Remington one, is quite awkward to get the bits off. On this, on the Remington one, you just twist the thing in the middle there. I'll show you again shortly. But on this, you've got to push these 2 little clips in like that, and then you can take the whole head out. And as you can see on this, the cutting heads are like little tiny, I don't know if you can see there, little sort of spanners they look like. And you can just see they're like little curved spanners. Quite a weird sort of cutting head, and as it drives forward, it's them 2 little prongs. So the only cutting bit really is, seems to me, them 2 sort of end bits there. Now this is the other cheapo one that I got from Amazon that lasted just about a year and then totally packed up. On this one, yeah, you're pushing this little tab here, and the top comes up on a hinge like the Remington one. And again, like the Remington one that I'll show you shortly, to take the heads out, you twist this central bit and the whole thing comes out, which is easier than the Silvercrest one. And then you can get at the heads, they come out. Now these can be a bit tricky. You've got to squeeze these. You can take the whole head out, or you can leave it in there. So I'll leave it in because I just want to show you on these. This is the same as the Silvercrest one. As you can see with these, they're the same little sort of spanner shaped cutting heads. Strange little design the way they are. Absolutely identical to the Silvercrest one, but a bit easier to get in because the whole centre bit just clicks in like that and then folds over. So I'll just show you the Remington now, and this will show you the difference. Again, you push this button in there and the whole thing pops up, and on this we've got a blue, a grey and a black, different centre hubs. They're all the same, but again, you just twist that centre bit there, the whole thing comes out, the head comes out separately like that, and again you can take them out if you need to. But the difference with these is, you can see on these, a totally different designed head to the others. They're a straight cutting head on these, so you can see the difference side by side. This, the Remington one, which doesn't tug at your hairs when they're a bit long, and still does give you a close shave. They're like a straight cut blade. And on this, the Silvercrest one, you can see them little spanner shaped things. So yeah, that just shows you the Remington is definitely easier to get apart and a totally different designed head. Unfortunately, I can't use the Silvercrest, the Remington blades in the Silvercrest because they've got a square drive shaft, and the Silvercrest have got a triangular drive shaft. So yeah, that's the difference in the cutting heads. So I forgot to tell you what you get in the box. Like I say, I've already unboxed it, so it's not a proper unboxing. But in the box you get, of course, the shaver itself, the little protective top for it. You get the wart, or whatever you want to call it, power adapter, which is 5 volts, 1 amp output, with, like I said, a proprietary plug in the end. You also get the instruction book, not a lot sort of reading, that usual Lidl's multi-language instruction book, and also you get a little pouch. I have mislaid that pouch, but it's very similar to this one. There's something else in there, a little sort of black pouch, and you get the obligatory little stiff brush for cleaning it with. So that's everything you get in the box. So I'm going to give it another 2 or 3 days, like I say, to get these a bit longer, and I'll go through a full demo. Okay, so it's now 3.5 days since I last shaved. I mean, you can see it's not much. A lot of people grow a lot more than that in 3.5 days. It grows quite slow on me, but so I'm going to start now. I've already taken a picture of under here. I'll show you close up of that to show you a before and after. And I'm going to show you sort of like starting when they're this sort of like long with the Silvercrest one, and sort of how much comfier it is with this. Obviously you can't feel the tugging or anything like that, but I'll tell you when it happens. And then I'll sort of like go all over with this to show you how far it'll go, and show you that does get them extra bits that this misses at the end. So we'll start off first with the Silvercrest one. And already, yeah, oh, ow, yeah, I can feel it definitely here at the side, sort of tugging on. Not too bad at the moment under there, but there, oh, really, as soon as it hits a long one there, I can really sort of feel it tugging, and it's obviously not agony, but it's not very pleasant. And you've got to sort of like make sure you do it in the downwards, that with going with the hair. If you go against it, it really sort of like little pins sticking in you. Whereas with the Braun one, I mean, that feels great. There's no pain whatsoever. I can go up, down, whatever. A tiny bit, then one hair, but nothing like that. And when I get up to these longer ones up here, it's fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go all over with this, sort of as fine as it can get, and then I'm going to show you like another sort of 30 seconds with this, or another minute, whatever, and then another minute with the Silvercrest to show you that it does get the tiny ones that this misses, but it is more painful to begin with than this. So I'll be back in a minute when I've gone all over with the Braun. Okay, so this is it about sort of after about a 3 or 4 minute shave with the Braun, and I've just got my daughter to take a picture again under my chin. It's dead awkward this, because I'm taking the camera and filming it off, unconnecting it all, putting the battery back in it, taking it in another room for my daughter to take a picture, and then putting it all back to film this. But at the moment, this picture here is how it is now after about 3 or 4 minutes with the Braun, and I can still feel wispy hairs still there. It's pretty close, it's not bad if I'm being honest, but I can still sort of feel wispy things there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it another 2 minutes with this just on one side, and then I'm going to give it 2 minutes with this, and hopefully you'll be able to see the difference between the two sides. I'm not sure how it'll work out, but I know I can sort of feel the difference after. So I'll be back with the results of that. Okay, so I've just timed with me timer on my phone 2 further minutes from the stage we were at last. And on this side of my face, my left hand side of my face, I used the Braun for 2 solid minutes. And on the right hand side of my face, I used the Lidl's Silvercrest one. Now, as I feel it, I can definitely still feel some sort of whiskers there from the Braun. But on this side, it's absolutely as smooth as a baby's what's it. So yeah, it is definitely how they'll show up on the photo. Here's the picture of it. I'll put a label on each side which is which. Whether you'll be able to see if you zoom in or whatever, I don't know, but I can definitely feel the difference. So basically that's it. Would I recommend this shaver, or would I buy it again? No, not really, because of the fact that it hurts so much on long stubble. You'd need something like this or a better rotary one to get rid of that longer stubble. If you're going to be shaving every single day and just getting rid of like a 1 day's growth, and it don't grow so fast like mine, this would be fine. It's just when you let it go 2-3 days and it gets a bit longer that this tugs at it and it is not comfortable. But the actual finish you get off this is smoother than with the foil one. Now, whether the tugging is to do with the design of the blades that I showed you earlier on, because I can't remember that Remington one doing that. That was a rotary one, and even after sort of 3 days when I shaved with that, it didn't tug. And that has, again, I'll show it up here. That has a different blade design. As you can see on that, there is an inner rim and an outer rim of separate cutting heads angled out. So you're getting like one behind the other. So it's cutting and then the other one is following on. And they're made of a different material. It looks like a gold coloured type material, like brass or whatever. I don't know what it is. The other one, the Silvercrest, are the cheaper ones. And the cheaper one I got from Amazon have got this design of head on it. And as you can see, there's like 2 prongs per blade which are together. Now I suppose you still do get a slightly off, slightly delayed, if you staggered, if you will, cut, because even though they're both together, them heads, the outer one is going sort of like at a different time to the inner one, if you see what I mean. But I think the way they're staggered better on the Remington one is better now. Whether it's because of that or whether it's just a faster, better motor cutting at higher revs, I don't know, but it was a better cut on the Remington. So yeah, like I say, the only thing that lets this down is that long spindly heads and the no side trimmer. So this is worth it just sort of for the side trimmer. I'm not going to take this back to Lidl's and get my money back. Like I say, it was only, what, 19 quid. I think it is worth that just to get that finishing touch, and for the side trimmer, which is very, very handy for cutting things like side quads. I haven't shown you doing that, but you can get quite big, as you see, quite big clumps of hair coming off there. So very handy, and for leveling it off after. So yeah, when and if this ever packs up, like I say, it's got a 3-year warranty from Lidl's. I'd probably get my money back. I wouldn't want another one. I'd use that probably to go towards a better quality, like a Phillips or a Remington one, which can do it from the smooth right to the 3-day growth. So if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, click the little picture of the shed here, and I'll be back with another review very, very soon. The next one is going to be on this. It's a little handheld Singer sewing machine. I've never sewn anything by hand or machine in my life before. I've not had it out of the box, so I'm going to have a practice on it and give you a review of what I think about that, and if I can sew with it, anybody be able to sew with it. So like I said, catch for that review very, very soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.